Today is Tuesday, 10:05 a.m., April 14th, 2015. It is my pleasure to call to order the State of Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance Board of Funeral Directors and Embalmers. Ms. Lisa Mosley, will you now please call the roll?
Mark Cawthorn.
Here.
Robert Helms.
Here.
David Neal.
Here.
W.T. Patterson.
Here.
Jane Gray Sowell.
Here.
Robert Starkey.
Here.
Anita Taylor.
Here.
Mr. President, all board members are present.
Thank you, Ms. Mosley. We have a quorum and we'll continue the meeting as planned. Next, we'll adopt our agenda for the meeting.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Sowell and a second from Mr. Neal. All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting will continue. Next is our minutes. If we'll review the minutes from the last meeting.
Move to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Sowell and a second from Mr. Helms. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved.
President,
I was going to say, should we skip the next part and go to yours?
respondent is here, so
Oh, okay.
he'll be ready in 2 or 3 minutes if you don't mind.
All
waiting.
right.
He'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and he's
All right.
ready to go.
All right. Following the formal hearing we have just had, it's my pleasure to recall the board into session. At this time, the time is 5:55. April the 14th, the day is Tuesday. Next matters on our report would be the legal report. So if everybody will pull that up on the screen, and we will review those one at a time and vote on them.
President, for the benefit of the audience, I'll just read the case numbers if that's okay.
All right.
So that
All right.
you know, again, Ms. Richardson apologizes because of health reasons, she had to leave the meeting.
Understand.
The first one is case number 2014-03231. Respondent 2 is 2014-0325352. Respondent number 3 is case number 2014-03231. And respondent number 4 is case number 2014-0323262.
Move to accept council's recommendation.
Have a motion from Mr. Helms.
I'm not through reading, excuse me. This is on those 4 items you've moved to accept
Yes, ma'am.
for embalmer civil penalty of $600 for the locations of civil penalty of $250 each for an authorized hearing.
Why is this, the history is done, why is $600 on there, do you think? It looks like it'd be $250. Palmer civil penalty of $600.
I was wondering that as well.
My understanding, the recommendation from the attorney is based on the number of cases and what the recommendation is based on.
And he hadn't reported his address change. That's the reason he got a late notice.
And he got it on the 22nd, but it's almost a month before the board heard from him.
We have a motion.
I made that motion.
I second.
Have a motion from Mr. Helms, a second from Ms. Sal, all in favor.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Complaint number 5 is 2014-032621 against the funeral director and embalmer, and complaint numbers 2014-032622 against an establishment.
Move to accept recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion from Ms. Sal and a second from Mr. Helms, all in favor.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Complaint number 7 is 2014-031501 against an establishment.
Move to accept.
Have a motion from Mr. Cochran and a second from Ms. Taylor, all in favor.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Complaint number 8 is 2014-031631 against an establishment.
Move to accept council's recommendation.
Have a motion from Mr. Helms. Second from Patterson, all in favor.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Complaint number 9 is 2014-031661 against an establishment.
To accept.
Have a motion from Mr. Cochran.
Second.
A second from Mr. Helms. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Complaint number 10 is 2014-032111 against an establishment.
Move to accept.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Cochran and a second from Mr. Helms. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 11, 12, and 13 are together, all separate funeral establishments. Number 11 is complaint number 2014-032311. Complaint number 12 is 2014-032312. Complaint number 13 is 2014-032313.
Establishments. I move to accept.
Have a motion from Mr. Helms. Second from Mr. Patterson. All in favor?
Wait just a minute. First, with a letter of warning, to check the mailings before passing along to the customers, a little late. I mean, that. You have a motion and a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
No.
I tell you what, a lot of times in something like that, I know when you're mailing cremains, from our perspective, the crematory mails them, and we pay the crematory because they do not return them to us. You know, I don't know what the case here, but of course, our crematory has a checklist they go through, so we've never had anything like that, but
What about the crematory in this case?
very what?
Is the crematory one of these license numbers?
Yes, crematory is number 2. It's complaint number 12, or the second one listed of the 3.
At a penalty.
It's self-reported, by the way. The crematory is self-reported.
This is going to be minimal to what they face.
They're lucky.
Huh?
They're lucky.
Next.
14 is 2014-0323. Start over. Number 14 is 2014-033331 against an establishment.
Accept council's recommendation.
Have a motion from Ms. Taylor,
Second.
second from Mr. Helms. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Number 15 is 2014-032381 against an establishment.
Motion to accept council's recommendation.
Second.
Motion from Ms. Taylor,
Second.
second from Ms. Sal. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Number 16 is 2014-032631, an establishment.
Move to accept council's recommendation.
Second.
Was that Mr. Helms? Okay, I have a motion for Mr. Helms and a second.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 17 is case number 2014-032661 against an establishment.
Motion to accept.
I have a motion from Mr. Cochran
Second.
and a second from Mr. Helms. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The last one is number 18, case number 2014-030091.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion from Mr. Ham, second from Mr. Patterson. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. That completes the legal report. Next will be administrative matters.
Board members, the first report is the report of licenses administratively approved by the Executive Director pursuant to the Board authority for the period of March 10, 2015 through April 13, 2015. A list of establishments and individuals and the types of actions and types of license issued. There are no closed establishments that have reported closing since the past board meeting. Disciplinary action report is a report of the consent orders administratively accepted or approved by the Executive Director pursuant to the Board's authority for the period of March 1, 2015 through March 31, 2015. Last is the open complaint report, and as of yesterday, there were a total of 53 complaints, 12 against funeral directors and/or embalmers, and 41 against establishments. Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Right, we'll go on into the next item will be the legislative.
Could we get a motion to?
Oh, I
accept
apologize. I have a motion to accept have a motion from Mr. Patterson.
Second.
A second from Ms. Taylor. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is our legislative update.
Mr. President, this is a little bit more detailed than it was last month. This is these are the House bills and Senate bills that affect funeral directors and embalmers, and also we've included those that would be cause some indirect effect to funeral directors and embalmers. So we've listed the bill, and just for the benefit of the audience, I'll read the bill numbers. Senate Bill 0194, House Bill 0163. Those are companion bills, and as you can see, that is passed both the Senate and House and been transmitted to the governor for his action. Senate Bill 0320 and House Bill 0289, which are companion bills, and you can see what's happened to that. It's not moving very much at the present time. House Bill 0199 and Senate Bill 0621. As you can see, likewise, that bill is not moving very much either. And then two that are actually cemetery bills but have indirect effect of funeral directors. House Bill 0446 and Senate Bill 0870. The last actions on those are there, and that one very much at all either. The last one is Senate Bill 1235 and House Bill 1307, and that one is moving and continuing to move. In the Senate, it's placed on the regular calendar for April the 15th, and the action yesterday when I checked the website, the last action in the House was on April the 9th, and it was placed on the regular calendar for April the 13th, which was yesterday. I have not been able to. I did not think this morning to check and see if it passed, but I assume it's moving on, and we'll, the assumption is that probably that bill will become pass and be enacted. That concludes the legislative report. If we could get a motion to accept that.
Motion to accept.
Yeah, I have a motion from Mr. Patterson and a second from Ms. Taylor and a host of others. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The approval of licenses. We have no individuals to come before you today, and as you may or may not be aware, there were two individuals representing Lakeway Cremation Center at 1028 West Main Street in Morristown, who sat here during almost all the hearing and sat till very late in the afternoon, and they need to go back to Morristown because they had a lengthy drive, and I told them I would be in touch with them and let them know what the board did. I can tell you that the information is in front of you. As far as I know, everything is compliant with the statutes and rules.
What is it? That's what Buddy Mays was here for.
Yes, the two people who were here that had to leave were Buddy Mays, Herbert A. Mays, and Margot Lamb. Margot is going to be, she's the manager for the proposed establishment. This is it's in a nutshell, it's a cremation center. They allow me just a second to look at a note here. So if you scroll down to the email from Bill Luna to me when he did the inspection, he was told by the manager that this establishment will offer only direct cremation. No other services will be offered, and if other services are requested, such as embalming, visitation, funeral ceremonies, and interment, etc., persons will be advised to contact a funeral home of their choice. This proposed establishment is to occupy the two front offices, and you have photos with the inspection report, of an existing building at 1028 West Main Street in Morristown, with the rear portion of the building already being used for casket storage by Mays Family Services. If you have questions, I'll be glad to answer them for you.
I'll second.
Have a motion from Mr. Patterson, a second from Mr. Cochran. All in favor?
No.
Motion carries. All right.
May I be recorded as no in the
Yes.
minutes, please?
Yes.
All right. Does that include our license applications?
Yes, sir, it does.
Individuals? Any new business to come before the board? Have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Helms, second from Mr. Cochran. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.